Good evening. Sir. Good evening. Sir.
Good evening. You are Dr. Satyappa.
Yes, sir. Krishnappa, sir.
Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Could you give us a brief introduction, please?
Yes, sir. Sir, myself Krishnappa Satyappa DONAWADE. I am from village Diggewadi, Belagavi district, Karnataka. I have been born and brought up in district Sangli, and I have graduated from medical science in Bidar Institute of Medical Science, and after that I have worked as a medical officer in PHC Sambargi.
You've given up the job? You've resigned from that job?
Yes, sir. 1.5 years back I stopped working and I am preparing for civil service.
So what attracts you to the civil service? You've got a professional degree. India is short of doctors. A lot of money has been spent by the government to equip you with this degree.
Yes,
So-
sir. Sir, the reason behind me choosing for a civil service is a personal one. While I was working as a medical internee, I came across a patient who was RVD positive. However, within 7 days of her admission, she died. But that time no one was there to receive her body, and we informed the municipality. And however, she had been left by 2 children. One was 6th standard girl and one was 4th standard boy. That time everyone was sympathizing those children. They were roaming here and there in our hostel, around hostel and even hospitals. But however, no one was taking care of them. So that time I approached many NGOs and all. I even went to Hyderabad and all, but I couldn't materialize the things so that I could enroll them there. However, someone suggested me to meet once DC office. So I took those 2 children and went to DC office. That time Anirudh Savan sir was there. He helped me to enroll them in a government hostel as well as a government school. And since then we started taking care of those children. But that time I realized that apart from health, I could even better work for other social aspects also. Then I decided to take up civil service.
Right, you had anthropology
Yes, sir.
as your optional. So tell me, PTGs and PVTGs, what is the difference? Both refer to tribal groups.
Yes, sir. Sir, PTG refers to primitive tribal groups and PVTG primitive vulnerable tribal groups. Sir. So I think the difference is largely with regard to the name change. That is, the earlier one denotes more of a derogatory, and later one it indicates little of good usage.
So what are the characteristics of a tribal community? Can you name 4 or 5 characteristics?
Yes, sir. Sir, the first one thing is with regard to their culture, they have distinct cultural identity. And second thing, they will be having a primitive economy, which is not a monetized one. And with regard to their polity, it will be a primitive one with the customary laws and all. And fourth thing, sir, with regard to their farming and all, low level of technology will be there. So,
Right. Have you heard of the term living will?
yes, sir.
What does it stand for?
Sir, living will is a consent by the patient whenever he will be in a terminally ill condition. That time he is giving his consent with regard to withdrawing the life support. So that is a living will, sir.
Very good. My final question, what do you understand by the term rule of law?
Yes.
There are 3 elements of the rule of law. Can you tell them?
Yes, sir. Sir, Dicey has given 3 characteristics, in which first one, there should be no arbitrariness, and second thing, everyone will be equal in front of the law, and sir, sorry sir, third one I am.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Krishnappa,
Yes, sir.
what is Jan Aushadhi?
Yes, sir. Sir, Jan Aushadhi is a scheme which involves the selling of generic medicines at an affordable cost. So it is a flagship program by the central government, sir.
So, if Jan Aushadhi is a scheme, why should branded companies be allowed to produce these simple drugs and get a huge profit. Government should stop their production or import or whatever, because they are able to produce it in a controlled environment and with good quality.
Sir, there are two aspects with regard to promoting the branded medicines along with the Jan Aushadhi, sir. Sir, first thing, the generic medicines are the one which are given permission to produce after the patent is expired, and it is directed to the diseases which are already known, for example diabetic, hypertension and all. Whereas with regard to branded medicines, they will be involving in research and diagnosis with regard to the evolving diseases. So that in that sense, sir, we need to
No, I'm not saying remove all the other medicines, branded medicines, but the medicines which are already created by Jan Aushadhi system, Anasin or any painkiller. Why should there be a branded product for the same product?
Sir, for pharmaceutical industry, the selling of the existing brands, whatever available with regard to generic Aushadhi, it acts as a incentive for them, because pharmaceutical largely runs on benefits with regard to their business, and if we stop, then there will be no incentive for them to invent more with regard to newer drugs and all. So in that sense, sir, they need to be there. However, and second thing, sir, even there is a compliance with regard to patients also. Generic medicine is the recent one, around 20 years, 15 to 20 years, sir. But since the patient having a diabetic or hypertension taking tablets with regard to 30 years and all, if we could stop and switch, tell him to switch over to generic medicine.
All right, I understand. Have you read the newspapers today or yesterday?
Yes, sir. Yesterday I have read.
You have read.
Yes,
what is the news about Indian stock market?
Sorry, sir. I am able to not.
Okay. What do you understand by Indian economic corridor?
Sir, the corridor basically refers to a passage with regard to connectivity by rail, by a road, or by a maritime. So it is a kind of network system, sir, logistic system. India economic corridor basically meant for trade routes, sir.
From where to where?
Sir, Indian economic corridor or Indian. Sir, there are various corridors, Indian economic corridors. The one of the proposed recently one is Indian Middle East Middle East European corridor, sir. That starts from India and it passes through UAE, Israel, and Saudi Arabia, Israel, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you.
KRUKSHNAPPA,
Yes, sir.
you come from Maharashtra, which has a coast,
Yes,
right?
sir.
What is the maritime economic zone?
Sorry, sir, I do not have exact idea about maritime economic zone. If I could take guess, then the 20 nautical miles from the baseline could be considered as a maritime zone, sir, economic zone.
Which is the baseline?
Sir, territorial baseline, that
Coastline.
coastline, sir.
Okay. What are the present challenges our Navy faces in the Indian Ocean area?
Sir, the first thing that our Navy is facing in Indian Ocean is the piracy issue that we are witnessing in Red Sea, and second thing, Houthis rebels at
But that is in Red Sea. I asked in Indian Ocean.
Yes, sir. With regard to Indian Ocean, China's presence is a threat for Indian Navy, sir. As a not just Indian Navy, as a whole country's security. And second thing, sir, with regard to even piracy is also there in Indian Ocean, sir. So that is the second issue. And third thing, sir, we are lacking some hydrographic data largely with regard to Indian Ocean, which could be helpful in times of emergency. That is also one of the issues, sir. So these are the largely issues with regard to Navy, sir.
There is some sort of a dispute going on with the Maldives.
Yes, sir.
What is the core issue and what is the way forward you visualize?
Yes. Sir, with regard to India-Maldives relation, with the recent election in Maldives, in which the President Muizu has been elected, and who is considered to be sentiments with anti-India, largely driven by China's presence, sir. It is one, sir, and second thing, even he had been taking campaigns before also out India campaign and all. With regard to way forward, sir, it should be largely on a diplomatic one rather than being the aggressive mode, because already there is a perception by the small neighboring the small Maldives that the India is showing a big brother attitude and all. So that perception need to be removed, and with proper economic trade and all, we can strengthen our relation with a diplomatic approach also, sir.
But on the other hand, you have China, who is trying to create bases all around Indian or subcontinent.
Yes, sir.
So how do you plan to counter that?
Yes, sir. China, as a part of its Maritime Belt and Road Initiative, it is building a string of pearls network surrounding the India, and even India has also countered it by the necklace of diamond by having the ports with regard to Bangladesh or even Sri Lanka, or be it in Djibouti and all, and even Mongolia and all. It is having a good network. It is developing the infrastructure, sir. In that aspect we can contain. And second thing, sir, in Indian Ocean, many western and other countries have also interest with regard to trade and all. So we can have a better platform such as Quad or Malabar exercise and all, so that on a common agenda we can work to contain the China, sir.
My final question to you is regarding Manipur.
Yes, sir.
Which country does it border?
Yes, sir. Manipur, it largely borders with Myanmar, sir.
Myanmar. There is some dispute regarding which our Home Minister had given some policy statement. What is it?
Sir, with regard to Myanmar or the Manipur itself, sir?
No, whatever he says, it is with regard to Manipur only.
Yes, sir.
But it relates to that border.
Yes, sir. Sir, now the burning issue in Manipur is with regard to ethnic conflict between the Kukis and Metis, sir, and it is fueled by the free border passage that is present along the Myanmar, that is around more than 100 kilometers, sir, in which there is a movement of the insurgent groups that are backing the Kukis and Metis.
100 kilometers on either side of the border?
No, sir, along the border.
Lengthwise?
Yes, sir, in lengthwise.
Widthwise?
Sir, widthwise I am not sure, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So that is one of the major factors, sir. So our honorable Home Minister has told that he will they will be closing that they will be fencing that free border one. This is largely with regard to Manipur, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Is Karnataka as a state
Yes, sir.
becoming more intolerant towards minorities and outsiders?
No, sir, I don't think that it is becoming intolerant, because Karnataka is a one state with many worlds in terms of culture, in terms of traditions and all. So due to a recent incidences of certain communal violence, I don't think that it will be largely a intolerant state, sir.
No, not only communal violence, but first we had that whole issue of the hijab. I was in Bangalore at that time. Then we had the issue of not buying mangoes from Muslims. Then we had an issue of outsider insider.
Yes, sir.
Then that anti-Hindi. In the broader context, I'm asking you.
Sir, I don't think that it is becoming an intolerant one, sir, due to the certain elements or certain extremist organizations that are fueling the issues, be it anti-Hindi imposition and all, and even there is some certain say with regard to the Protestants who are doing that, sir, with regard to the Kannada and all. Even they have a genuine demands. And with regard to hijab, sir, it is largely a political issue. So I don't think that it is deepened into the community.
You just said some genuine demand about Kannada as a language.
Yes, sir.
What were you referring to?
Yes, sir. With regard to recent signboard issue, sir.
60%, 40%.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think Kannada being Kannada as a language is a part of culture of the people of Karnataka, and when they feel that their own language is being neglected in especially the cosmopolitan city, that time there is a chance that sense of deprivation. So they will be demanding that the boards will be in Kannada, and even the government has directed that, sir, around 60% of the signboard will be covering the Kannada. I think that in that sense, sir, I think their demand was genuine with regard to. However, the way they took the way they handled it was largely a law issue, sir.
Correct. Now, you are a general duty medical officer in a primary health center.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have plenty of primary health centers. The problem is not that we don't have primary health centers. The problem is they don't give the services that are required to be given. What do you think is the core issue?
Sir, as a medical officer, I have largely observed the human resource deficit, sir, with regard to the doctors itself. Even where I was working, I apart from my PHC, I had been deputed to two other PHC. It was difficult for me to travel and be in time with regard to providing the services. And second thing, sir, with regard to the drugs and all, it was also largely a resource issue, sir. So these two things, I think it was a major hindrance, sir.
But do you think Indian doctors do not want to go to rural areas or primary health centers? Is that a problem?
Yes, sir. Indeed, it is also one of the problem, because many doctors are hesitant to go to the rural area due to various issues. However, it is also one of the issue only, sir, because there is a largely skewed health services with regard to urban and rural, sir.
My last question. Compared to so many other countries in the world, China as an example, Central Asian countries, why is medical education so expensive in India?
Sir, the probable cause could be that there is a high demand for the medical in India. However, the institutions are less in number. That is one major issue, sir.
So why don't people set up more medical colleges?
Yes, sir. Sir, there needs a particular standard that need to be met by the one who wants to establish, or even the government. Government needs resources, sir. So in that case, in future, definitely India may have better, more number of institutions, and it can be reduced.
Thank you.
KRUKSHNAPPA.
Yes.
Okay. You are from anthropology.
Yes, sir.
Why did you choose medical science in your optional?
Sir, my optional is anthropology only, sir.
I'm asking, why did you choose medical science as an optional?
He is anthropology.
Sir, my optional is only.
Optional is anthropology.
That is what I'm asking.
No, you asked medical science.
No, I'm asking ki you are from medical science background. Why haven't you choose?
Okay, sir.
That is my question.
Okay, sir. Sir, while I started preparing for civil service, sir, that time I went through the syllabus. That anthropology found interesting one thing, sir, and second thing, everyone was telling that it is a good scoring one. So these two criteria appealed for me to take, sir.
Okay, tell me, what's the difference between ancient humans and today's humans apart from the physical features?
Sir, the major stark difference between the ancient human and the present one is the change in institutional setup, sir. Be it a culture, be it a society, be it a marriage, or even family or a kinship, sir. With regard to culture, now the culture is becoming homogeneous with regard to ancient human, sir. And with regard to family, now earlier it was a more of a patriarchal or a stark division between the gender based roles. Now it is performed by all. It is becoming little egalitarian. And with regard to kinship, sir, earlier there was a close kinship bonds. Now it is being little reduced, sir. So these are stark differences.
Do you think institution of marriage is dying?
Sir, I don't think that it is dying one. However, sir, there is a significant change in terms of institution of marriage. with regard to the religious control over the marriage, or the tradition that used to be there, or the caste system, the outer caste marriage or other religion marriage and all. And even now new types of marriages are also coming, sir, be it live in relationship and all such institution. So I don't think, sir, it is diversifying, rather dying, sir.
Interesting. Okay, tell me the doctor patient ratio, coming to your field of MBBS. What is the current doctor patient ratio?
Yes, sir. In recent report by the health minister in the parliament, sir, it is around 1:850, sir. So compared to the earlier, around 1:1000, more than 1000, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me how AI is changing our healthcare sector?
Yes, sir. Sir, AI is now especially being used in the radiology department with regard to the analyzing the radiographic films and all. And the second thing, sir, with regard to robotic surgery and all, largely AI is helping them. And even, sir, with regard to the handling of the pandemics, or even the analyzing of the data, the AI can be better useful, sir.
Okay, there is this statement, India is one medical bill away. Most of the Indians are, if I can recall, the data was more than 50% Indians are one medical bill away from getting pushed into the poverty. Comment on this.
Sir, can you repeat the...
More than 50% Indians are one medical bill away getting pushed into the poverty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed it is the true one, because our out of pocket expenditure is largely around 46, more than 46% of the total income, sir. So in that sense, sir, the medical bill, even we have witnessed it in even the COVID-19 also, and the poverty line that is there, the people around that thin line is also very much variant, sir. So even the cost of medicine and all with regard to coverage of insurance, or even be it branded medicines or technical procedures, and they are at a very high cost. So in that sense, sir, definitely even one medical bill could reduce them to a poverty, sir.
And what government is doing for this?
Sir, government has taken many initiatives. The recent one, or the major one, is with regard to Ayushman Bharat, which is providing the health insurance, sir, and parallelly it is also supporting the preventive and rehabilitative care at the PHC level. So I think, sir, largely focusing on the preventive care and the insurance could reduce such instances, sir.
Okay, my last question, coming to your extracurricular activities, you read spiritual biographies.
Yes, sir.
What's the market size of this spiritual industry? Are you aware? There was this article on this in Hindu.
Sorry, sir.
It's nearly $56 billion.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me this scams in spirituality? They are so. How can you make sure that whatever you are following is not a scam? What's the difference between a spiritual scam and not a spiritual scam? What is true spiritualism?
Sir, with regard to spiritualism, sir, it is a way to understand one's inner thing and the purpose of life. With regard to the scams in spirituality, sir, yes, indeed there are many issues associated with it. In the name of providing the spiritual guidance and all, there are many gurus and all, they are making a industry one. That is not the issue, sir, but the guiding people in a wrong way, that is the issue, sir. Be it recent incidents of particular major gurus in Haryana and all, sir, I largely say that if we could follow blindly, then we will be trapped. However, if it is a real spiritual journey, then we will be realizing what is right, what is wrong, and we will not be distracted by such wrong doings and all, sir.
Okay. Do you think every individual should be spiritual?
Sir, I think even the person, if he is also not aware of much about spirituality also, he will be one or the other hand, he will be spiritual inside. So just thing is we need to explore it, that's it, sir. So in that sense, everyone will be a spiritual one.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
When is your interview?
Sir, February 8th, sir.
How many mocks have you taken?
Sir, 3 mocks I have taken, sir.
Okay, so this is your fourth.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest that make this the final mock,
Yes, sir.
because your time will now be better spent in preparation.
Yes, sir.
So, firstly, of course, you need to recognize this is not a question answer session or a test of knowledge as such.
Yes, sir.
They are testing whether you have the abilities to be an officer,
Yes, sir.
and for that you need integrity. So don't guess, don't bluff.
Yes, sir.
Balanced opinion, conceptual clarity, logical thinking,
Yes, sir.
lucid expression.
Yes, sir.
They are looking for self-confidence and poise, and
Yes,
they are
sir.
looking for awareness
Yes, sir.
of yourself, your district, state, nation, the world.
Yes, sir.
So let me start with the basics. You are sitting in an extremely stiff posture.
Yes, sir.
Your palms needn't be stuck to your knees.
Yes, sir.
You can sit like this.
Yes, sir.
Please show me. Sit like this. Yes.
Yes.
So, secondly, your tie,
Yes, sir.
the color doesn't match the rest of your outfit.
Yes.
Can you stand for a minute? Let me see.
Yes.
The length is all right.
Yes.
But this kind of a very thin tie is no longer the
Yes, sir.
way
Yes.
you can say is no longer what is currently being used.
Yes, sir.
You can use something which is a medium size,
Yes, sir.
and of course clean shaven and neatly combed hair.
Yes,
All these are in order. Now, what you should do is take about 20-25 of these A4 size sheets.
Yes, sir.
You should recognize that the questions are going to come from 3 or 4 sources.
Yes, sir.
They come from your DAF, current events, subject, and job.
Yes, sir.
Once you have this question bank ready, then deep dive into each topic,
Yes, sir.
completely cover it from all angles,
Yes.
and then make out bullet points in order of priority, and then sit in front of a mirror and practice.
Yes.
Because you have you're a very promising candidate. You have all the positives,
Yes, sir.
and you have already a professional degree, so you have something to fall back upon.
Yes, sir.
So when you go there, it should be with a lot of positivity that I bring so many talents to the table,
Yes, sir.
and I'm going to ace this interview.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any question you want to ask?
No, sir.
All the best.
Best
All
of
the
luck.
best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.